Coach, win and you're in. Pretty high stakes tonight. Is that something you discuss at all for motivation, or is that something that everybody just knows and it's not said today?
We haven't talked about it yet, but I think our guys are aware of the magnitude of this game. And, it'll be another really good challenge for us as a team.
That was an interesting position with Paul George, because you did face him twice earlier in the season before he went out with injury. Now he's back. What is your squad expecting? How much can you pull from those November games to now to help?
Well, we know that getting Paul George back is key for this team and key for the Clippers to make their run. He's an all-star caliber player. We have to be aware of what he does well on the floor, and he makes everybody better. And his first game back, it was like he didn't miss a beat. So we're aware of it. Like I said, it's going to be a challenge for us, but we look forward to it, and we got to go out and just compete for 48 minutes.
Yeah, this is a team with a. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, Coach, we all know how important a three-point shot is in this league, but you guys continue to get wins despite not getting single digits or just double digits in the three-point category. What does that say about your team, the fact that you are getting these wins despite not shooting a three the way you want to shoot?
Well, we definitely want to have more balance offensively, but sometimes that's just the way the game goes for us. And I think it's important for us to still be able to carve out wins even when we don't shoot the three ball well. We shot the ball well overall, 51% from the field against the Lakers. We got to the free throw line, so all things that contribute to our wins. But we definitely want to have some more balance. If it doesn't, we're still happy with coming out with a win any way we can.
And this team has a bunch of really good wings. They throw a bunch of different lineups out there. How much has the growth of guys like Najee and Trey helped you in a matchup like this, where you got to match up with their size on the perimeter?
Well, I think they're similar in the fact that they're playing some of their young guys, some of their young wings, just like we are. And because of injuries, their guys have stepped up and played big and had big minutes and big games. We're at the same point where we're leaning on some of our young guys to come in and contribute, give us some speed on the floor, and be able to match up with the Clippers. And they do a really good job of throwing different looks at you defensively. So we'll need to just take care of the ball, run our offense, and then defensively just stay sound.
Coach, I don't know if you've been asked about this before, but Jose Alvarado is one of the strangest things when he waits in the corner and picking guys off. He's done it a few times. How does that, have you talked to him about that? Where does that come from?
No, it's just who he is. He's learned how to make that work for him. I told him, I said, this is the first time I've ever seen it in basketball where somebody hides out in the corner and really you don't see him. But I'm sure teams are starting to look at that. Hopefully he can pick up another couple steals. I wish the NBA wouldn't show it on their highlights. It's giving away what he does well for us, but I think it's a part of his talent. He's a talented guy. He's able to get steals that change the momentum of the game for you.
Ty was saying that he's definitely going to show his team a few times.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Are you at a point where you're almost expecting a few of those per game now?
Every time he does it, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Because it's just unorthodox. But like I said, he's a talented kid. He works hard. He works at it, and it's a part of what he does. And we love it. If he can get steals and get an easy layup, more power to him.
Are you surprised it's worked as many times as it has already? At all?
I think, like most guys, you just haven't seen it before. So for the first time, we're seeing somebody like hot out in the corner, and then here he comes. Sometimes I'm not even paying attention until it happens. So I'm sure more teams are starting to scout him and starting to scout what he does. Like you said, Ty Lue has looked at it, and they'll be looking behind him when they take the ball out. And hopefully he's able to come up with one.
Hey Willie, what was your initial impression when the NBA first launched the play-in tournament, and how much has your opinion of it changed or stayed the same now that you guys are in the thick of that?
I don't know what my initial thoughts were. I just thought that it was something new, it was change, and I'm always understanding that change is inevitable. But now that we're in it, it's pretty fun, it's pretty cool coming down the stretch of the season when you're in the 9th and 10th spot. Normally, if you couldn't get to 8, those games didn't matter as much. But now, having play-in implications, these are meaningful games, especially for a young team like us. even for myself, being able to coach in games down the stretch, that means a lot to our team and our organization. So it's pretty cool.
Obviously, you guys are in a relatively good position, but how have you seen the guys kind of handle the ebbs and flows of this season and this last month?
The guys have been great, and you know, we endured a lot of pain early with our record and injuries and things like that. But you know, we just stayed with it, understanding that that's a part of the process, and the blessing will come later. And now we're in those moments where we're pretty healthy, and guys are confident. We're playing together and staying connected.
Will you talk about the integration of CJ on your team?
CJ's been great. He's a leader. He's played in really high stakes games, a number of playoff performances in games that he's played in. So he has a ton of experience and knowledge that he brings to our team. He's always drip feeding our young guys. He's not overbearing, but he knows what we're playing for, and he's playing with a different edge and spark.
Coach, obviously tonight's a very important game for you guys, for the Clippers, but you guys also might play each other in one of the playing games. Game plan wise, is it almost like, maybe, and maybe not, but it's almost like you don't want to show too much because you might play them in like 10 days.
No, I think our mindset is we got to go after it. And when you get to this point in the season, playoffs, play-in, whatever it is, every team knows what you're going to do, and you know what they're going to do. It's just a matter of executing and who can make the least amount of mistakes in 48 minutes.
Willie, you have Jackson starting at the 4 recently, and I mean, all these matchups with Clippers, you trying to dominate them physically, especially on the glass. How does Jackson kind of figure into what the Clippers want to do on both sides of the floor?
We like what Jackson brings at the 4 position. Number one, he's big, he's athletic, he can guard multiple positions. He's also rebounding the ball pretty well from that spot. He didn't have to bang with a lot of those 5s down there. So he just adds a level of versatility to our front line and allows us to be big and still athletic.
Did you kind of look at your team, especially after getting CJ? CJ's played at the 2 a lot. Brandon, he's played the 4 for your team this year. Did you kind of look at and see an opportunity there to just be a bigger team in general over the course of the season?
Yeah, for sure. You know, we're always looking at our team and reevaluating where we are. And once we acquire CJ, you know, losing Josh Hart, he was 6'5", but he played much bigger than that. And to make up for not necessarily having that defensive presence on the floor, Jackson's size and athleticism, ability to block shots from the weak side and then rebound the ball gave us a different look that we like.
Coach, obviously you've seen Ty Lue and his teams a lot in the last postseason as well. Can you just speak to what you've seen out of him and his team? I mean, they've been injury riddled most of the year.
Ty Lue is a great coach. If you think about what this team is doing with pretty much their 2 top players gone for a big portion of the season, their team, the Clippers play hard every game. They compete every game, and they just find a way, no matter what. I mean, they've been down, I don't know how many points, a number of games, and they come back and win them. It speaks to his leadership, his staff, this organization, their players, and like I said, we're excited about going out tonight and competing against a team like that.
How hard is it to implement the culture that you wanted? You were in Golden State, you were there in Phoenix, and I know one had a culture, the other one you built. How was that tested when you're 1-12 and you're 3-16? Did you ever have doubts, like maybe I'm not doing the right thing? Did the players ever come to you and say, let's try this? How hard was it to keep what you wanted to do in those tough times to get to where you are now?
You know, it's extremely difficult in those times to stay the course, but I spoke about it just a little bit ago. You know, when you're familiar with pain and the process, and just knowing that that's a part of the process, we have an understanding that the blessing is going to come after that, but this is just something we have to go through. And it wasn't necessarily trying to change the culture, but it was just establishing values. What do we stand on? What type of team do we want to be? And that starts with our character. And I'm proud proud of.
Do you have a chance to smell the roses and say, man, I'm pretty proud of what we've been able to accomplish here, and where does this rank for you? When you look at your playing career, when you look at your coaching career, I know it's just started, where does this rank for you?
I don't know that yet, and I don't know if I'm necessarily smelling the roses yet either.
No coach ever does, I
We're,
mean, first.
We're right in the thick of things, and we're just trying to enjoy the moment. Every moment is what it is for us, and, you know, after the season, I'm sure we'll reevaluate where we are, we'll, you know, say if this is great or not, but for right now, our preparation is just the key for us, preparing for each game, and just enjoying the journey more than anything.